What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be putting on a 2-inch lift kit by ReadyLIFT. It's going to be going on my girlfriend's 2019 Subaru Crosstrek. Here is what she looks like before we touch it. We are looking at about full hand gap in the back and full hand gap to the front. So it's about 5 inches, maybe 4.5 from fender to the tire for the front. And we're looking at about 4.5 inches tire to fender gap for the back. Today we're going to be using the ReadyLIFT 2-inch lift kit I got from Rally Sport Direct. You can also find it on Amazon. I do have links in the description below. Looks like it actually came with a log so you can record before and after ride heights, along with a list of materials included. We should probably make sure we got everything. So I got looks like front lift plates and then the 2 rear lift plates. Those don't look quite like 2 inches, but we'll see. This bracket, I think it's for the sway bar end link, and a little bracket for a little bracket, I think, is for the headlight, leveling center, along with some hardware. First thing you're going to want to do is jack the car up and put it on jack stands. Make sure you put the jack stands on the proper lift points so that you don't damage the car. Then take the wheels off so you can expose the suspension components. We are going to be taking 2 nuts off the strut mount top up there from the inside, and the bottom hardware to get the shock off the lower control arm. You got to unbolt it from the strut knuckle first to be able to swing it down and pull the strut out. On the other side, you're going to be unbolting the bracket for the headlight leveling sensor. Please be very careful, as this is easy to break and very fragile. Once you take the plastic covers off, you will be able to see the 2 strut mount nuts that we're going to be taking off to take off the rear shocks. They're right here. They're size 14. Once you get the shocks out, you got to install the rear shock mount plates. Next, you're going to want to loosen these control arm bolts just to have more slack to push the control arm down so you can pull the strut out and put it back in. You're going to want to make sure you remember to tighten those when you put the struts back on. But here's the new bracket that's actually longer. Here's what the stock one looks like. Next, we're going to take off these 3 strut mount nuts and unclip all the brake cables and ABS sensors. Make sure that they're out of the way. Take the stabilizer link off along with the strut knuckle bolts. Once we have it out, we want to make sure that nothing's in the way or getting too stretched. You could damage these easily. Next step is to put the front strut plates on. I used a wrench to bind it in place while I tighten the strut mount nuts. There is a wrong way to do this. There is a left one and a right one. You'll see there's an offset difference on the strut mount. You're going to make sure that you put the correct one left and right. This is the correct positive camber. Here's what she looks like. Definitely noticeably higher. Definitely noticeably higher. I don't know if it's quite 2 inches, but alright, let's see. About 5.5 inches, so no, 6 inches. So it's about an inch and a half lift on the back. And alright, so 6.5. We're about a 2-inch lift on the front. So it's about a 2-inch lift on the front and 1.5 inches in the back. Resulting in almost a foot of ground clearance. Next step, after you have the suspension installed, is to review the manual and get the car aligned to these recommended specs. Wheel alignment is really important to make sure that the car is handling properly and so that you don't tear up your tires prematurely. Got some inspiration from that guy. Here's what she looks like. Definitely leaves a lot of room for a bigger wheel and tire setup, which is coming up soon. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash that like button. Also, if you want to stay tuned for the Crosstrek build and want to keep up with all of our upgrades, make sure to subscribe to my channel. All the links for where to get lift kits and all sorts of parts for this thing will be in the description below. That is all for today. Thank you for watching.